Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of From the Ground Up, real-time issues and real-time solutions for MWBEs. It's a pleasure to have you join us again. This is the collaborative effort of Queen Strategy Partners with Nicole Valentine, Esquire, Danielle Douglas, and myself, Dr. Stacey N.C. Grant. It has been so rewarding to see that you've been able to utilize all of the information that we've been sharing with you, as we are the examples of what collaboration looks like, that our mission behind the show is in the midst of everything that we're witnessing in real time, that we can give you real-time solutions. So we're here every single Tuesday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We invite you to share this broadcast with a friend, let others know what's going on so we can help all MWBEs thrive. We know that we haven't seen anything like this happen in our lifetime. So only together will we weather it and get through it. As the governor of the great state of New York would say, we're New York strong. So we're excited to be here. And I'm going to turn it over to my co-host, Danielle Douglas, who will give you some additional information about our show today.
So good morning, everyone. Thank you again for joining Stacey and I and our guest, Selvina Brooks Powers, this morning. We're going to be giving you great information. Our topic today is resources for MWBEs certified now. And we thought that this was a very important topic because we threw a lot out the past 3 sessions. We talked about you getting certified and what does that mean in regards to opportunities. We had great guests on. I suggest that you look at those sessions again because it was packed with so many golden nuggets that you can definitely utilize. But, oftentimes what we hear is there's one thing to give information. And as you know, I always say wisdom is knowledge rightly applied. But that doesn't mean that sometimes you don't need help in really applying the information that we give you. And so today we wanted to bring our guest, Selvina Brooks Powers, forgive me, Selvina, to talk about resources that the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey has for MWBEs right here in the local community. So without further ado, I'm gonna pass it back on to Stacey. She could share with you who Selvina is, and we'll get the ball rolling.
Absolutely. Thank you, Danielle. And yes, we're excited today to have a great conversation with another one of the individuals who you definitely want to connect with and know when it comes to opportunities for MWBE. She's a lifelong resident of Southeast Queens. She holds a Bachelor of Arts in Sociology from Wilberforce University in Wilberforce, Ohio. She also holds a Master's of Science from New York University in International Law and Dispute Settlement. She's just committed to public service. She spent her entire professional career working on issues that impact vulnerable communities, including domestic violence and economic inequality. She began as a volunteer for the then New York City Public Advocate Mark Green for 4 years, dating back to 1997. And she was one of the youngest volunteers. And she continued volunteering until she entered into an internship with the New York State Senate at the age of 20. So she's been doing this. She's not new to it. She's true to it. Known for her activism, she's made a name for herself by organizing many voter empowerment initiatives, starting in college. And then she even coordinated for presidential candidate John Kerry a bus tour. So she's had numerous positions in government, in labor, in Southeast Queens. But right now, a lot of us know her because of her current position and role as one of the managers for external affairs and community outreach with the Jfk Redevelopment Program. There's not an inch of Southeast Queens that she hasn't impacted and touched. And it was no surprise that she would now serve in this role, making sure that there's equity and access for MWBEs to take advantage of what I like to term this legacy opportunity to be a part of how Southeast Queens and surrounding communities will be impacted by the JFK redevelopment. So Selvina Brooks Powers, we get to work together on the JFK projects as well as Danielle. So it's like having family on the show today. Welcome and thank you for being here.
And Selvina, I got to do a special, even though my voice is cracked.
Yes. Today, the Deltas are outnumbering the Zetas on here, but it's all Greek sisterly love. I'm so happy to be here with both and with your audience. Obviously, I value and treasure you both for the work that you do in the community for women of color and just in generally for our community. So thank you for all that you do and continue to do. And thank you for inviting me to represent the JFK Redevelopment Program. As Stacey mentioned, I'm one half of the managers for external affairs and community outreach. I serve alongside Natasha Williams. We are so excited to be a part of this program, as Stacey called the Legacy Program. We often refer to it as something that's going to be transformative for our community. The JFK Redevelopment Program is a $13 billion program that will consist of the reimagining of JFK Airport, turning it into a world-class international airport in alignment with the vision that has been set out by New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, as well as our Executive Director, Rick Cotton, who have both been truly committed to ensuring that the community has a seat at the table. And so that is why we work extra hard to engage with the community, whether it's through Natasha, myself, and the outreach team, who everyone on the outreach team is actually from the community as well, or through our advisory council, where Dr. Stacey Grant serves as our facilitator. And that council consists of 45 bodies of individuals that represent their own constituencies, so that it's a diverse representation in these conversations as the opportunities begin to trickle down into the community. So thank you again.
Absolutely. And, we're excited about the conversation because even though there's so much happening and a lot of people are unsure about what's going on, you've still been doing outreach. You've still been functioning. And, I think all of us need to just take a pause, a moment of silence for the fact that we're working more in the Rona than we were before. Like, so much going on. Like, nobody can breathe. All the lines are blurred between working hours and evening and weekend. So, how have you been structuring outreach in these interesting new times that we're living in?
No, you hit it spot on. And I mean, the job that I had in the past when I worked for the Fight for 15 campaign with SEIU International, most of the time when I wasn't traveling the country, I got to work from home. But this is totally different. Almost everybody is working from home, except for our frontline workers, of course. And so it's a different feel. And so it forced us to have to reimagine community outreach. As we've known community outreach, that's us being in the community. That's us having our outreach center open for the community to be able to walk in whenever they choose to. So what we did was we took a step back and we said, how can we still ensure that we're not missing time with businesses and the workforce in the community to prepare them for when the opportunity starts to trickle down for the redevelopment program. So where it led us to has been a series of webinars that we've been hosting. We've had countless webinars at this point, ranging from business development areas, workforce. We even recently had a briefing with faith-based leaders, which we hope to do again at some point in the future. We've held a virtual business card exchange in collaboration with the Rockaway Development Revitalization Corporation, which is something that they typically do in person. But this time we did it virtually. We were able to exchange business cards virtually, and it was a great experience. And we hope to do that again soon. So I will say that fortunately, we have been able to continue connecting the community to opportunities. Just last week, we had an informational on a current RFQS that is open. And we encourage you to come to our website at newjfk.com because it is open. It's regarding the Port Authority specific construction part of the redevelopment program. And in order to be invited to the RFP, you would first have to go through this first step, which is to respond to this RFQS. So in literally a matter of days, we pulled together an informational where we had 102 businesses represented on that webinar. American Airlines also has a number of opportunities with open bids out right now. And they too had a informational session last week as well, where they had very good attendance and confirmations. And so, we just continue to push out the information as it comes. But at the same time, running parallel to that, we're making sure that we're doing our part as the outreach team to position community businesses, position workforce in a way that when the time comes, they can be able to take advantage of all of the opportunities coming.
So, Sylvina, I have two questions for you. The first question is that all that you're doing is phenomenal. We really appreciate that. And with that said, you may have some business owners that are looking to identify opportunities with the JFK Redevelopment Project. You may have a contractor in the local community and, his business has dried up in regards to private clients. And he's saying, wow, this is an opportunity. And he never got certified, right? So in regards to those type of services that the center normally had offered pre-COVID-19, how could a business owner still get certified, to even take advantage of these opportunities? Because that's the very first step. And you may have a lot of businesses that are rethinking doing business with government agencies.
No, that's a great question. And so again, we fortunately for us have not missed a beat in that space. We have brought what we had bi-monthly Certification 101 webinars to now taking place in the virtual space. So we host the webinars around certification each month. We also have now introduced what's called Tune-Up Tuesdays, and that is something that happens every other Tuesday where businesses can have that one-on-one experience virtually with Quentin Bailey in our office, as well as Gloria Wigfall, who's a part of the Diversity and Inclusion Unit in the Port Authority. And they literally spend time with the businesses and walk them through the certification process. So we are so thankful for the team that has been able to quickly retool what they do so that, again, we're not missing a beat there. So last week alone, I think there was about one or two businesses that was able to complete their certification, which we know is a process in itself, with a number of other businesses being able to start the process with Quentin and Gloria. So excited about that. That information can also be found online. I see Stacy has our wonderful website up, newjfk.com. And I'll probably say that a few more times in this segment, but information can be found there. Our phone number is there, as well as our email. That's a shared inbox, so that if you're not sure who you need to connect to, you just email us or call us, and you will either hear Jules' wonderful voice on the phone, or you'll have a response back from the JFK general inbox.
Okay. And the other thing I wanted to ask you is, you said something that really resonated with me. And that was, I'm going to say #transformation and #reimagining, because I think for a lot of business owners, this is an opportunity to pivot, to reimagine their business in a different way. And from reimagining their business, they have an opportunity to transform. So you knowing what you know in regards to the vast amount of opportunities at the JFK Redevelopment Project, and you sitting where you're sitting, what would you say to a business owner in regards to the opportunities and how the JFK Redevelopment Project can be a real significant catalyst in assisting them in reimagining and transforming their business and getting to another level?
No, that's a great question. And I'll start by saying that in every crisis situation, I always look for the silver lining. So while we all got caught off guard by the COVID pandemic, it's forced a lot of businesses to really step back and reassess their businesses. So I know we've done a webinar in the past with Greater Jamaica to promote different resources to help in terms of funding for some of these businesses. I know Greater Jamaica also does webinars around really kind of creating and building out an online presence. One thing we found is a lot of our businesses in Southeast Queens don't necessarily maximize their virtual presence online. So there's a lot of resources being pushed out there these days that help people to do just that. And again, our team is here to provide whatever assistance we can on the certification side or the connecting to opportunity side of things. But I know we had a virtual meeting with a local business that was brought to us by the office of Senator Leroy Comrie. And when that business spoke to us, one of the things that stood out in that conversation was she had the opportunity now to really look at JFK redevelopment and what our opportunities actually are right now, to start to look and see how she can take advantage of that. So now, in addition to the network of businesses and workforce that we have already engaged with over the last 2 years, we now have another group of businesses and individuals coming and learning more about the redevelopment. So, we really want to build and strengthen our bench. So when the opportunities come, such as the ones that exist right now on American Airlines, we want to make sure that the community is aware of it and are taking the steps to be able to qualify and participate.
Mm-hmm. So we have an audience question that came up on the line of how can you participate? Hey, Mecca, thank you for tuning in and being a part of the show. So she wanted to know, are there any contracts for mindfulness, health, and wellness within this whole JFK redevelopment?
So I will say one of the first things I learned since being a part of the Port Authority is we encourage anyone that has some form of service to certify themselves. I remember there was someone who reached out to me who is a funeral director and said, do you certify funeral homes? And I never thought about it. And I'm like, well, what would we be able to? So I went back internally and I asked that question and learned, like, yes, have that person get certified, because you have to think when the bodies come off the plane, we need someone that's going to receive the bodies, right? So there's opportunity. So when you talk about mind and wellness, between us and the terminal developers, if they were looking to do something for staff or what have you, it would be a great opportunity to be able to tap into not only a local partner, but an MWBE partner as well. So I definitely encourage all businesses to get certified along the professional services side, because wherever there is an opportunity, we would love to connect. Now, that's not to say that there definitely will be something around health and wellness, but it's something that I don't see as, okay, no, this is not something that we can do. So I definitely encourage you to connect with Quentin and Gloria and explore what opportunities exist. Another great resource in the Port Authority is Carl Peters, who also is from the local community. And Carl is excellent in connecting folks to opportunities as well.
Okay. Absolutely. And I think she mentioned that she is certified as an MWBE. So if that is the case, Mecca, if you're certified, Selvina, just to build on her question, because there might be some other MWBEs that are listening, how can you think differently when you talk about reimagining? She has health and wellness. Maybe that's something that she could do with one of the developers in providing some services within the terminal. When we talk about state of the art, having that kind of international airport that rivals others around the world.
Absolutely. And so our terminal developers are at the table. They've been at the table from the very beginning to show their commitment to the community, and are always looking to engage with local partners in any way. So definitely encourage the community to connect with them on their virtual hours, which will be located on our website at newjfk.com. And each of them are represented in the tab. Stacy, your screen looks to me, but I think it says terminal project. When you do the drop down, there's each one of the terminals represented there. If you look under our public outreach, there's an events calendar. And if you look at the virtual hours, you can also see what hours the terminal developers are available as well. So they're there online. They're available by phone, by email, by virtual hours. willing and ready to engage with the community. So definitely explore that. I do want to say or flag, some people are certified as M and or WBE, and sometimes they're certified with the city or a different agency. I just wanted to make sure that everyone understands the need to be certified with the Port Authority. Now, specific for the JFK redevelopment, if you're certified with New York State, that still qualifies. But we encourage everyone to still get certified with the Port Authority, because opportunities with the Port Authority outside of the redevelopment will require or ask for the MWBE certification being from the Port Authority.
And Sylvina, I want to follow up in two ways as well. One is that in regards to Mecca's question, just to build upon what Stacy asked on behalf of Mecca, is, you have a concessions program as well. And, there was a big event about a year ago, and I know that that is something that is a priority for the JFK Redevelopment Project. And so when we think about even wellness and you think about concessions, I don't know in the context that Mecca does wellness, but if she does massages or something like that, or, she could potentially have a little store that as people are waiting to catch their flight and something like that, she could potentially offer her services in that regard as it relates to a concessions opportunity. So that's, again, an opportunity to reimagine and think about how one can pivot and really seize opportunities that can be potentially available for them. To build upon concessions, we have a ton of different restaurants in our community. Restaurants have been impacted significantly as a result of COVID-19. And just when they thought they could come up with a little fresh air, then it was mandated that they would not be able to fully open July 6th. So again, as it relates to concession, potentially, I know that may be long-term, that may not be something immediately now, but can you speak to that as well in regards to the potential concession opportunities and what Port Authority is doing in regards to that to assist local businesses and being able to take advantage of those type of opportunities as well?
No, absolutely. So just last year, the JFK redevelopment alongside the LaGuardia redevelopment hosted a concession informational or orientation event back, I think it was last September. And that's something that the Port Authority has committed to building on with the launch of the Institute of Concessions, which is something still in formation, that we are pretty excited about when that comes online. Because when that gets launched, we'll be able to connect local businesses such as local restaurants, as you mentioned, to be able to really get educated and understand the nuts and bolts of operating a concession. So someone may have a business in the community, but it may take a little different strategy to run a concession. So what are those requirements to open up a concession and to really see your revenue increase? So we're pretty excited about that. And that's something that should be taking place in sometime in the future.
Absolutely. And I just want to say how impactful that Institute of Concessions orientation was in September, because the Port Authority and the diversity and inclusion team had the foresight to really say, we have to help ready our community, because not everybody is ready for a concessions opportunity. But there were experts who have a long history of successful concessions. There were people who were thinking about it, and there were brand new folks saying, well, how can I position myself? Someone like Mecca that's watching today, and she does acupuncture, massages, and she does movement. I mean, that sounds like an opportunity for the Institute of Concessions for her to learn what needs to be done and maybe partner with an existing concession to offer what she has. So that's how we have to think differently in this time. And I'm glad that you explained that. And somebody else is from Arizona asking about what opportunities are for them who are not in New York. And I mean, every state has some sort of capital development, good contracting local, state, and city. So it's a matter of just really looking and seeing what the certification process is in your state. And then there are federal opportunities that go across the board. So no matter what state you're in, you can compete for contracts, because once you certify anywhere, it helps you get all of your house in order. Some of what we talked about on this show with your back office, with your accounting and all that information, so that you can get certified wherever you are. So thank you for tuning in from Arizona. And I hope that the information that we're sharing also, you can apply it from all of our shows, because it really goes across the board for anyone in business who wants to be impactful. So Danielle has another question, and I have like 3 more for you, Selvina, while we have you. And we're going to bring on another special guest who is going to share some information about businesses in real time that can take advantage of a program that's launching in Queens this coming month. So we can't say, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? The Rona has ruined everything. The Rona has interrupted progress, but we're still going to thrive. And that's why we're here for real time issues and real-time solutions. So I'm going to turn it over to Danielle for the next question, and then power up, Selvina, because we have a lot more to talk about what Jfk Redevelopment has to offer.
Okay.
So I just want to, we talked about this in a prior webinar. So I suggest that folks go back again to our last 3 webinars as it relates to MWBEs and certification. But one of the things that were pointed out, and I think is very important in the context of concessions, to bring it up again, is that, Selvina, you just mentioned about ensuring that you get certified for Port Authority. And so in regards to concessions, one has to get certified as an ACDBE. So even if you do get, if you're state certified, if you are Port Authority certified, if you are interested in getting certified for concessions, just know that you have to do the ACDBE certification. So I just wanted to point that out again for folks so that they know that there is a difference, right? And with that said, I would also ask Sabina, what would you say is the process? Again, you putting on your entrepreneurial hat, but you also have opportunity to wear a hat, being very much part of the new Jfk Redevelopment Project and everything. What would you say is the process for businesses from certification all the way to successfully getting a contract? What are the steps that they need to take to get a contract?
So I will say, as it pertains to the JFK redevelopment, because that's the only one I can really speak to in this way, I will say that it's important to take advantage of the community outreach events that we're having, the ones that our terminal developers are having. I will say, like, even when you look at some of the early success stories from the new Terminal 1, a lot of the people that were selected are folks that came to these events and really took the opportunity and engaged with terminal developers and promoted their business. Obviously, getting certified is one of the first steps. Again, we have 2 amazing people on our team, Quentin Bailey and Gloria Wigfall, that is on hand to help walk businesses through getting certified, and they can walk every business through what they need to do it. So, like, to be registered as an MWBE, you have to have been in business for 3 years. But to be certified as a DBE, you don't have that same requirement. So all of those nuances, they can walk the businesses through to really understand that. But in addition to the certification, I think the next big step is to really come out, let the terminal developers meet you and understand your businesses. I think that it would be to the best advantage for a business to also have their capability statement ready. Oftentimes that's something that's asked for and gives a quick snapshot of your business, what your business can do, and what have you. So those are some of, like, the high level things I would suggest for businesses to take into account. But obviously, it really kind of depends on the opportunity that they're looking for. Because as you mentioned, if it's something on concessions, it's a little bit different in terms of what those steps are. But I think the key thing is certification and attending these events as well. And not to mention, have your references lined up, because that's something that's necessary for certification. You want references that can speak to the work that your business does. So start to line that up, get your paperwork in order to help our team help you get certified. Because one of the common things I hear in terms of delays with certification has been like something as simple as like a missing document or a lack of communication to get whatever outstanding material may be needed. So just really stay on top of it, because this is something that will be transformative. And if your business is selected to be a part of the Jfk Redevelopment Program, I think that's something that can really transform your businesses when you really look at the larger picture.
Okay.
Absolutely. So I just want to jump in on that point, and I think Danielle has one more thing to ask. Quentin is so helpful. Shout out to Quentin Bailey. We have recommended businesses to him, and it's a process like anything. If you just get started, you'll get to the finish line. But if you never start and you keep looking at, well, should I get certified? Should I get? And I've told you all before on this broadcast, like some of us have an aversion to paperwork, but you just need to do it, right? Because if you don't get it done, how can you really position yourself to get the contracts that you're seeking? So Mecca and Sherry, we thank you for being here and being a part of this. But I want to point out that Danielle made a good point about all the different certifications that you need if you're thinking about concessions, or if you want to do DBE. It opens you up not only for the Port Authority, but for other opportunities with state and city contracts. So go to anewjfk.com. Like, that's really the place where all of this information is housed. There are job opportunities, because as well, while we're in business and we're running companies, some of you might know people who need employment. They've been furloughed, or because of this current climate, they're not sure what's next. There's job opportunities that are also available for workforce. And that's something that will also transform the legacy in our community. And there's a vendor opportunity. You can just become a vendor with the Port Authority. You can learn about procurement opportunities. So I have it up on the screen so that everyone can really see that this is a very comprehensive site that gives you additional information on where you are in the process and how you can connect. Ultimately, there is something for everyone. And you just have to make a decision as MWBE, not only how you excel, but how you share these opportunities with others in our community that need this information. So I know that we have a few more questions for you, and hopefully you can hang out with us, Sylvina, because we're going to bring on another guest who's going to talk about some real-time opportunities for our businesses here in Queens. But Danielle had another question for you before we bring her on.
Okay.
So, Sylvina, you talked about a capability statement. And even though that is simple, with all due respect to our guests that are listening, we just want to make sure they understand what a capability statement is and what are the critical ingredients of a capability statement, because it is the equivalent of your resume, right? But it's what is used, the term is used as relates to when you are providing information about your business for contract opportunities. I'll let you expound on that, but I just wanted for us to tell them what it is and not assume they know what a capability statement is.
No, absolutely. And I think you really described it perfectly. It's like a resume. It's a business resume, something that's very high level. So you would include your business name, the contact information, a snapshot of what your business does, and what it's capable of in terms of financially, in terms of the project capacity that your business may have. And it really allows like someone to quickly look and see if your business aligns with what needs to be done. It has the experience to do it and has the capacity to do it. So that's it really in a nutshell. For those who would need like a better example, I definitely encourage you to reach out to Quentin Bailey in our office, who can point you into the right direction and give you better guidance on that. But That's high level of what it is, but it is something that is helpful. We've held a number of roundtable experiences, and in those, we always encourage the business to come to the table with those in hand so that we can share it with the terminal developers.
Thank you.
I think you actually gave us another show idea. Danielle, we might have to have some experts on who might be MWBEs that build out capacity statements for MWBEs. And we just gave a business idea to someone who maybe
talk about real time, right, Stacey? Real time coming up.
Yes.
You know, we got to tell you a little secret behind the scenes. You don't realize how many times, based on stuff that guests say, Stacey and I are like, okay, that is a webinar. We're doing a webinar on that. So, yes.
Absolutely. I think that's needed. And even if you have a capability statement, you might want to spruce it up. You might want to freshen it up a little bit, you know? We all know how it is when men get a new haircut, ladies get their hair done or get their face beat. It makes you feel a little good. So you might have to do a little adjustment on the capability statement so that you can attract opportunities. And before we transition into our next conversation, I really want to go back to something that Selvina mentioned earlier about networking, that JFK Redevelopment has been doing webinar after webinar, conversations still outreaching. But the key, and I hope you picked up what she was putting down, the people who showed up and who networked are the people who ended up building relationship to get a contract. So just think about the fact as an MWBE, you want to get into, and not an entanglement. You want to get
No.
You want to get into a relationship with a contract that both parties win. They have your brilliance, you have the ability to earn that income, but you have to build a relationship. You can't date me for one day and think I'm going to open up my bank account, right? So there has to be an opportunity for you to grow that relationship, for you to network. And Selvina, that was right on target. It takes time to build. It takes time to know, like, and trust somebody. So if you show up at these events, if the outreach team that are working as contractors and the JFK Redevelopment Program can say, oh, such and such business is always here. Oh, I remember, they do that. It puts you in a prime position to be able to compete and win a contract. So I just want to circle back.
I want to build upon that, Stacey. That's not only with developers or actually getting contracts directly with Port Authority, but again, as you always say at the beginning of our show, is that it's about collaboration. And now more than ever, with COVID-19, you know, we got to, this is real talk. You know, your business may have had been significantly impacted in a negative way in regards to revenue and resources. And so we need to think about how we could help one another win. I mean, I say that from my heart, and as Stacey said, we're trying to be a living example of that every week and to show that collaboration can work, that we are greater when we work together than to work individually. That is in regards to your business. That's in regards to community, right? Community. It's us talking to Selvina about, can she provide information to the community about the capacity builder program that's about to happen. It's so many ways that we need to collaborate in regards to resources, information, and to help one another win. So that goes on multi-levels, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I just wanted to emphasize in terms of coming to these events, because again, these terminal developers are there. These are people that when, you know, they're looking at who can do this, I've heard in a number of occasions, they're like, oh, this business has always been here. Let's make sure we invite them, you know? And so this is a project that is largely funded by private dollars from these terminal developers. And so having these direct relationships are important in a lot of instances. And, you know, all we're doing is trying to be the connectors. Like, we're bringing businesses to the terminal developers to explore these opportunities. And while they may not be here today, we know that there are opportunities to come. And sometimes the opportunities are not even limited to just the redevelopment, right? People have been able to branch out and get opportunities well beyond this. When we built out our community information center, there are some of our contractors that went on to have other opportunities after opportunities as a result of that. And so it's so important to just really take part in these networking opportunities. And I will say, I recognize that for some of our local businesses, it may not be that easy to get away and commit time to that. And that's another silver lining in this whole virtual experience, because now you don't have to leave your business. You can literally hop on your phone, your laptop, your iPad, or whatever, and join in. And so that's something I just want to highlight also. Take advantage of this time to really get connected and engaged to the redevelopment, where it does not require you to leave your home or your business.
That's right. That's a great point, and a perfect segue into another opportunity as we bring on no stranger to the show. She has been here before, sharing great information about Enterprise and Amplify Queens. There's so much happening and going on. And Selvina, we thank you for hanging out with us and sharing the information about JFK Redevelopment. And this is another partner, right? This is another person who serves as one of the co-chairs for our subcommittees, that is the executive director, and representing the program today, we have Valerie and Stevens with us, and we're going to talk about another real-time opportunity for community businesses, right? To really help you with everything that we've been talking about in preparing for opportunities, in networking, and positioning yourself so that you have everything in place, all the ducks lined up, so to speak. Now, there's a program that will help you do it, that will hold your hand. Because a lot of times we can know what to do, but unless we have some accountability, unless we have some assistance, we don't necessarily take the right steps to make that happen. So we're excited to share about RDRC, Amplify Queens, and Enterprise Stronger. So Valerie, thank you for joining in the show today. And I'm going to let Danielle talk a little bit more about this, because this is one of her projects as well that she's working on. And we're just so pleased, Valerie, that you could jump on and share some more information as we amplify Queens.
Yes, and Selvina, I'm going to ask if you could stay just a couple of minutes longer, because I want you to hear really about this great program as well. I have the opportunity to partner with RDRC, which is a community-based organization that has a significant presence in the Rockaways. This program was brought to Southeast Queens with the understanding that there is so much significant opportunity. This is even pre-COVID-19, but now more than ever, it's critically important that MWBEs know about these resources to assist them to build their capacity, to give them that foundation, that platform, so that they can really be prepared for opportunities such as what's happening with the JFK Redevelopment Project. And so there's two programs. I'm going to not steal Valerie's thunder. I'm going to let her talk about the programs in more detail. But I just want to say there's two programs. There's Amplify Queens Now. That will be starting August 3rd, next week, Monday. It's a 5-day program. Why was it brought to the community? Because we know that you need immediate help right now during the COVID-19 pandemic. And in addition to that, there will be also a 7-month program that will be taking place, launched fall of 2020, specifically September 22nd. You can participate in both programs if you meet the criteria, and we hope that you do. But these are free programs. So all you are committing is your time, but I guarantee you that the outcome that will be as a result of you participating in these programs is that you will actually be a stronger business. You will have a more concrete infrastructure, a better foundation, and you will be truly prepared and taking advantage of opportunities, such as the JFK, the opportunities that are at the JFK Redevelopment Project. So I'm going to let Ms. Valerie Stevens give you a little more detailed information about these programs, but I just wanted to at least set the stage and let you know how significant these opportunities are right now. So Valerie, it's all yours. Hey.
Thank you guys for having me back on the show. I really appreciate that. Hey, Selvina, how are you? Hi, Stacy. How are you?
Hi, Valerie.
That's good. Good. Well, you know what, Danny? You just actually rounded it up in a nutshell to me. The opportunities for Interrise Strong for the small businesses in Queens are amazing. And I think there is so much, if it's free, I think that because it's free and there are so many, the tools that they use, the curriculum that they use to help you build capacity, to build your foundation, I think is great. You know, I sat on a call, a Solve It call, and there were people from Texas and St. Louis and LA and I think someone was from Atlanta, Charlotte. It was just an amazing thing. And I just thank you so much, Danielle, for bringing the opportunity to RDRC. And thank you for the opportunity to be able to work with you to build this, to help us build the small businesses in the Far Rockaways. The eligibility requirements for the program is businesses must be located in Queens. The owner or the CEO of a company, $150,000 plus in annual revenues. One other employee besides the owners. They have to have been in business for at least 3 years and have aspirations for growth and are willing to commit time to work on your business. I'm going to piggyback off of what Danielle said, because as I said, Danielle, to me, you kind of rounded it up in a nutshell. It's an amazing program for small businesses. I believe that the opportunities for them to grow, especially during COVID-19, providing them with the methodologies that they need to pivot through these times. And right now is the time for small businesses to actually grow. And collaboration, I'm going to piggyback again for something that you guys said earlier. Collaboration is very important. Forging relationships are very important. Communication is very important, because if you don't communicate, and how will you know what's going on? If you don't try to forge a relationship, how can you grow your business? And right now is the time for us to do that, as small businesses. And I'm thankful that I have the opportunity to work at ODRC and be a part of this program as the program manager, and Danielle is the instructor. So I'm just excited to be a part of it.
So Valerie, can I jump in?
Huh?
Can I jump in?
Sure.
So I just want to say this program is near and dear to my heart. I've had the opportunity to be the facilitator for this program for 2 other cohorts, one in the Bronx and one in Brooklyn. And when I was doing work with the SBDC at York College, I said, this was over 2 years ago, why don't we have a program like this in Queens, especially when we know that the JFK Redevelopment Project is happening? We need something here, right here in our community, to assist the MWBEs in building their capacity. So it's been a long, hard road. It's been a labor of love to bring this program to MWBEs right here in the community that I was raised in, and I've been here for over 40 years. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And so with that said, what I want to say is give you more specific information that we have coined Interrise Strong, Amplify Queens Now for the 5-day program. What do you get during the 5-day program? You get, again, collaboration, that you'll be, having a network of other MWBEs that will be part of this program. What else do you get? You get to hear from subject matter experts about critical subject matters that impact your business, access to capital, how do you, look at cash flow in your business and things like that. How do you maintain your sanity during this time and still, make sure that your employees are okay as well? And so these are some of the things that will be addressed during the 5-day program. We only ask 1 hour per day of your time in regards to commitment for 5 days, from Monday through Friday. Now, for the Amplify Streetwise MBA program, again, that's a 7-month program. And that will clearly require a lot more of your time, but it'd be well worth it. We meet 3 hours every 2 weeks. You also have a CEO mentor group that you will be broken out from the bigger group that you will have you will be broken out in breakouts with 4 or 5 other business owners, and you'll have almost like your own little mastermind group within the bigger cohort. In addition to that, you will have the opportunity to interact with subject matter experts that will be brought in as guests. It could be someone like Selvina to talk about procurement opportunities, or the developers to talk about procurement opportunities at the Jfk Redevelopment Project. It may be lenders that come in and talk to you about, your cash flow and things like that. So we will be having guests come in. And in addition to that, for business owners that volunteer, you'll have an opportunity to share with your colleagues, as well as the subject matter expert guests that come in, an issue and a problem that you may be experiencing in your business, so that you can get the opportunity to hear from a collective group of people how you can resolve that problem. So there's different aspects of the program. And I know I'm throwing a lot out there, but the take-home message is that these 2 programs, especially the Amplify Queen Streetwise MBA program, the 7-month program, can be the game changer for you. And again,
So again,
I help.
can I just interject real quickly, Danielle?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't just that was a great, amazing job you did. But you've been doing this for a long time, so you really did a great job just now explaining that. I'm just coming on board, and the opportunity is great for me. I just wanted to speak on marketing. That's my baby. Marketing and communication. Small businesses, they really don't understand the importance of marketing and communications. And that's where I come in, actually, to hopefully be a part of that, to help them understand and identify their products and how they can connect with the customers and get revisiting customers. What types of services do they provide, and how can they build on the products that they do have, so that they can build and get more. What type of tools do they use? Do they know how to use the tools? And those things are very, very important to any organization, to any business. Marketing is so important, because without marketing, which is a part of branding, no one will know who you are. And in this day and time, as Selvina said earlier, you can pick up your phone, your iPad, your computer. People on these things constantly all day long, walking down the streets on these things all day long. And if you don't know how to communicate in a warmly and friendly way with people, that's where I come in. To share people how to talk to someone, how to reach out to your customers, and provide them with the best products that they need. But to build on that and to create a brand around your business that's going to make a statement and make awareness. So I really wanted to expound on that, because that's really important in any business. If you don't have marketing, you really will be lost.
Well, and it's a perfect segue into, our time together always goes too fast from the ground up as we are heading to the top of the hour. But I want to just do a couple of things, because people are asking questions and they want to make sure that they connect with Selvina and Natasha and the entire outreach team. Once again, anewjfk.com. Anewjfk.com is the website that I showed earlier, that you can go and see the additional opportunities that are available for businesses, and that you can recommend for workforce opportunity, their jobs available at the Port Authority. And for this Rise Stronger, there are 2 different ways you can participate. You did hear that there was some criteria that Valerie shared for the 7-month program, but I believe that next week is open to anyone interested in finding out more information. So that's kind of like your appetizer before you get to the entree, which is the 7 months. You have a little taste of what this program provides, and that kicks off on Monday. So you want to make sure you go to rdrc.org. That's rdrc.org. And you can see on their website underneath opportunities, you will find the RDRC Amplify Now, Rise Stronger. So thank you all for tuning in, to Shay, to Mecca, to Shanita, all of you that are watching from all over that have been sharing out our broadcast, those of you that have been subscribing to the shows on YouTube, we appreciate it. It lets us know that this work is not in vain, and that from the ground up is really providing you real-time solutions for your real-time issues. Today was a packed show. We went through so much, but we appreciate our guests for being here and sharing their time. And by the grace of God, we'll be back again next week, same time, on Queen Strategy Partners. So I'm going to turn it over to Danielle for her closing comments, and then let our guests as well share any final thoughts as we wrap up today's show.
All right. Well, I just want to say that once again, I hope that the information that we provided with our great guest today was something that you could definitely apply to your business, not only today, but that you really capitalize on the resources that are available to you, because there are resources. And as you know, Stacey and I talked about during our very first webinar session, we talked about finding your vessels, that we all have resources. It's what we do with it. How do we maximize our resources so that they can grow and we leverage them for exponential growth? And so today was really an opportunity for us to circle back in regards to resources and giving you the opportunity to leverage what is right in front of you. As you all heard, I am very passionate about the MWBE community as a small business owner, and I'm just as passionate about this program. I'm sure that you felt that through the screen, at least I hope you did. But please take advantage of these opportunities, not only with the Amplify Queens Now and the Amplify Queens Streetwise MBA, but the opportunities that Savina shared on behalf of the Jfk Redevelopment Project. As I always say, we're giving you the information, we're giving you knowledge, but it's not wisdom until you utilize it. And that it has a leverage effect, and it impacts you not only as a business owner, but it impacts your business and allows you to take your business to the next level. So on behalf of Queen Strategy Partners, I say thank you again for spending another Tuesday with us. We are looking forward to seeing you next week at the same time for another great show.
Awesome. Thank you, Danielle. Valerie and Selvina, any final words before we close out?
Thank you again for the opportunity to promote RDRC's Rise Stronger program. You can find us again on rdrc.org. Our Instagram is @RockLive. Follow us on Facebook, Rockaway Development and Revitalization Corporation. And Savina, I look forward to working with the Jfk Redevelopment Program in this project for Rise Stronger. I know you guys have what MWBEs that we need, so you need to give me a call.
Yes, no, absolutely. And thank you so much once again, Dr. Stacey Grant, Danielle Douglas. You both are gems to the community, as I've said plenty of times before. And I really thank you for giving an opportunity to speak about the Jfk Redevelopment Program. This is our opportunity. This is the time that we can be at the table to transform our community. And it's so critically important to make sure we're getting this information out. So I'm so excited about all that's to come. I'm so excited about the work that Valerie highlighted with RDRC and this Streetwise program that I've heard a lot about through Danielle for 2 years now. And I'm so excited that it's finally coming to Southeast Queens. It's something that can really help local and MWBEs, and so excited to see what's to come for our community. And thank you again.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone. Have a great day. keep wearing your mask. The Rona is still roaming. Be careful. Bye, everyone.
Yes, thank you. Bye.
So Valerie, that was one of our last pushes. Hopefully we'll get folk. Valerie?
I don't know what happened with my phone.
Oh, okay. All right. I guess she's off. All right.
No, she's on. Her phone like froze on her. Okay, so I'm gonna need this time to grab something to eat because I'm starting to get a headache.
Okay.
But it ended up working. You know, we missed
As
having.
always.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sorry that Annette couldn't be on, but that just gives her another opportunity to come on another day. That's all.
Okay. So,
all right. So,
well, how many minutes you need?
Just like 10.
Okay, so just give me a call because you know what? Even though I know it's Speaking Friday, we got to come up with a topic at least today so we could start thinking about who we're going to get as a guest real quick. So by the time Friday come, we could do our, our usual questions and stuff.
Okay, I'll call you in 10 minutes. Okay.
Okay, no problem.
All right.